Hello, and welcome to the first in a three-part video series discussing the Southwest Valley Community Plans Update Program. My name is Miguel Hernandez, and I'm one of the planners on the Southwest Valley Community Plans Update team, and I will be walking you through today's presentation. This video series will provide an introduction to the community planning process, an overview of the Southwest Valley geography, and it will discuss changes to the boundaries of the community plans areas, as well as an introduction to the Ventura Cahuenga Boulevard corridor as part of the community plans update process. Additionally, this presentation will provide a brief overview of the city's new zoning code system, which will be implemented as part of the community plan updates. The second video focuses on the vision for the Southwest Valley Community Plans update and discusses the strategies behind the newly proposed land use designation for achieving this vision. And the third video focuses on the Ventura Cahuenga Boulevard Corridor specific plan, discussing its place within the overall community plans update process and future possibilities for the specific plan area. As planners, we recognize the neighborhood groups, renters and homeowners, as well as business groups and community-based organizations, help shape the city's identity and are the core of any healthy society. Their contributions are greatest when they are actively engaged in the local decision-making process. Interactive story maps have proven to be a useful tool for exchanging information with constituents and neighborhood groups. Drawing on the power of GIS mapping technology, story maps help local stakeholders stay informed and engaged during the community plan update process. Please visit planningforla.org/SW Valley Plans to explore the proposed general plan land use designations for the Southwest Valley in further detail. You will also have the opportunity to submit comments or feedback regarding the proposed changes. First, we will begin with an introduction to the community planning process. In California, all cities are required to have a general plan. The general plan is each jurisdiction's blueprint for achieving the long-term vision of its community and ensuring that future growth and change is adequately planned for. The land use element is one required component of the general plan. In the city of Los Angeles, the land use element is divided into 35 community plans. The community plans function as a guide for growth in each of LA's diverse neighborhoods. Together, the 35 community plans support the broader objectives of the general plan and play an important role in bolstering housing and job opportunities in the city, conserving open space and natural resources, and balancing different neighborhood needs. The map to the right displays the 35 community plans in the city of LA. The three Southwest Valley community plans that are the topic of today's presentation are highlighted in blue. They include the Reseda West Van Nuys Lake Balboa Community Plan, the Encino Tarzana Community Plan, and the Canoga Park Winnetka Woodland Hills West Hill Community Plan. So, while the general plan applies to the city of Los Angeles as a whole, laying out our values and setting a vision for the type of city we aspire to be, the community plan allows us to zoom into the neighborhood level. The community plans assign land uses and guide future development within each plan area. And in order to implement the community plan land use policies, the city's zoning code delineates specific requirements for development such as allowed uses, maximum heights, required yards, and other standards. Each community plan consists of a policy document and a land use map. The policy document, also known as a community plan text, lays out the community's goals, policies, and programs, while the land use map identifies where certain uses, such as residential, commercial, and industrial, are permitted. Zoning and community plan implementation overlays, or CPIO, then implement these policies. CPIOs are specialized zoning tools that are customized to fit the needs of individual neighborhoods. They further regulate different aspects of proposed projects. Currently, the city is undergoing an overhaul of its zoning code in order to create a code that is more responsive to the modern approach to development. As part of this new zoning code, CPIOs would take on a new role, which we discuss later in this presentation. General Plan Land Use Designations, or GPLUs, determine where uses are permitted and at what intensity or density. The types of land uses fall into the following categories: commercial, multifamily residential, low residential, industrial, open space, and public facilities. The map at the right shows the current general plan land use designations for the Reseda West Van Nuys Community Plan that is one of the 3 Southwest Valley community plans. As we have discussed, zoning is a primary implementation tool of the community plan. Each GPLU can correspond to a number of different possible zones, which then dictates specific allowances, density, and intensity on a specific parcel. In the above example, we can see that single-family residential zoning, shown in yellow, makes up the majority of the land use in Reseda West Van Nuys. Overlays represent an additional layer of planning control. They apply to properties in a clearly defined geographic area. For a city as large and diverse as Los Angeles, overlays allow for flexibility and specificity in the zoning code by providing tailored zoning districts, each with its own specialized set of regulations. Overlays implement the city's general plan and community plans through neighborhood-specific policy objectives, which supplement the underlying base zoning on each parcel. Examples of overlays include the previously discussed Community Plan Implementation Overlays, or CPIOs, as well as Community Design Overlays, Specific Plans, Historic Preservation Overlay Zones, or HPOZs, Streetscape Plans, and Airport Plans, among others. As part of the Community Plan Update, the Southwest Valley Community Plans will be utilizing the new zoning code. The new zoning code is a modular system that aims to provide a more transparent and predictable planning process. The proposed zoning structure consists of 5 key parts, or districts: form, frontage, development standards, use, and density. While form, frontage, and development standards regulate the built environment, use and density refer to the activities allowed on site. Additionally, there are 2 parts, the CPIO and specific plan, that are optional and are only utilized when applicable. The form district determines the placement of the building in the lot and how large it can be. The frontage district influences how a building appears from the street level, from their proximity to the street to their ground floor height requirements. The standards district regulates certain design elements around the building, including but not limited to those related to pedestrian and vehicular access, parking, landscape, and signs. The use district determines the activities that are allowed on a property, ranging from residential, commercial, industrial, and in some instances, a mix of uses. The density district determines the max number of dwelling units permitted on any site that permits residential units. Certain communities may require overlays with additional procedures and restrictions. The Community Plan Implementation Overlay, or CPIO, is an optional overlay that can be placed in certain parts of the community to implement a community benefits program that incentivizes increased production of affordable housing, as well as other public benefits. We will expand more on the community benefits program further in the presentation. Specific plan overlays provide additional regulatory controls beyond those provided in the zoning code. The proposed approach aims to establish a new zoning code that is more responsive to the needs of Los Angeles neighborhoods, in addition to being easier to use. While conventional methods of zoning have traditionally focused on prohibiting incompatible uses, The new approach focuses on the physical design of the building in addition to its use. The Community Benefits Program is a new zoning tool that can be implemented with a CPIO. In exchange for additional development rights, we can incentivize affordable housing, privately owned public spaces, and community facilities like daycares and full-service grocery stores. We look forward to working with each community to identify potential locations where this tool can be applied, as well as determining the incentives that could be available for each community. The California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, is an environmental protection and public disclosure law that informs decision makers and the public about a proposed project's potential impacts on the environment and identifies ways those impacts can be reduced or avoided. The Southwest Valley Community Plans Update Project is subject to CEQA and is in the process of undergoing its environmental analysis. The findings will be presented in a draft Environmental Impact Report, or DEIR. To ensure potential impacts of the environment are reduced or avoided, these are the impact categories which will be studied. The findings will be presented in a DEIR that will be shared with the decision makers, responsible agencies, interested parties, and the public for review and comment. Now that we have discussed the components of a community plan, we will now more specifically discuss the Southwest Valley Community Plans Update. The guiding principles describe the overarching goals of the Southwest Valley Community Plans Update. These guiding principles are the foundation from which we make policy decisions, including, but not limited to, the need to increase accessibility to jobs, housing, open space, place housing near jobs and services, create a diversity of housing options, including affordable housing, minimize displacement of low and moderate income groups, and support employment and commerce across the 3 community plans. The goals and strategies are embedded in the proposed community plan guiding principle in a way that responds to the unique characteristics and needs of each community plan. The strategies were developed with the help of the past community feedback. It is important to note that principles on the screen are just an example of guiding principles, and each community plan area has its own unique set of guiding principles calibrated for their specific community that are available for review on our website. The Southwest Valley Community Plans Update Program aims to plan for strategic growth in a way that addresses climate change, sustainability, and equity, and the need to plan for complete neighborhoods. In the following slides, we will examine how the proposed land use designations provide a framework for addressing some of the key overarching issues and opportunities that have been heard over the last several years of outreach. First, we will discuss the importance of embedding equity in the community plans. Then we will discuss the concept of complete neighborhoods and how the land use designations promote these in the Southwest Valley. And lastly, we will discuss how the plans address the pressing need for sustainability and climate change resilience. In upcoming outreach, the plan text, goals, and policies, as well as the future zoning tools and continued community feedback will help implement this vision. Now, we will provide an overview of the Southwest Valley geography. The Southwest Valley, called such because it constitutes the southwestern portion of the San Fernando Valley, is bounded generally by Roscoe Boulevard to the north, the city of Los Angeles limits to the west, the Santa Monica Mountains to the south, and the I-405 to the east. The Los Angeles River runs through all 3 community plan areas. Other significant features of the Southwest Valley include the LA Metro or Orange Line, Busway, the Warner Center Neighborhood and Business District, which is governed by a specific plan, the Van Nuys Airport, and the Ventura Boulevard Corridor, also governed by a specific plan. As part of the Community Plan Update Program, several proposed boundary change areas are being considered, as denoted by the dashed lines on the map. More information regarding these changes will be discussed later on this presentation. The Southwest Valley represents 13% of the City of LA's total land area at 61 square miles and represents 10% of the city's total population at 385,808 residents. Dwelling units here refer to individual homes. The Southwest Valley comprises approximately 9% of the city's overall numbers of housing units in Los Angeles. The Southwest Valley contains 10% of the city's overall number of jobs. At just over 80,000, median income in the Southwest Valley is about 38% higher than when compared to the city as a whole, which has a median income of just over 58,000. And correspondingly, the Southwest Valley has a lower poverty rate at 12.2% than the city as a whole at 18.7%. Regarding race and ethnicity, when compared to the city of LA as a whole, a much greater share of the population in the Southwest Valley identifies as white, while significant fewer residents identify as Hispanic or Latino than do so citywide. A smaller portion of the Southwest Valley's population identifies as Black or African American than do so in the city as a whole as well. Regarding household tenure, Southwest Valley households are more likely to own their homes than to rent them, whereas citywide in Los Angeles, more residents rent than own. There are several overlays that provide additional development regulations in the Southwest Valley, as seen on the map. Existing community design overlays include the Canoga Park Commercial Corridor CDO, Canoga Park Downtown CDO, Reseda Central Business District CDO. And existing plans include the Girard Track Specific Plan, Mulholland Scenic Parkway Specific Plan, Valley Circle Specific Plan, Ventura Cahuenga Corridor Specific Plan, and the Warner Center Specific Plan. Community design overlays and specific plans provide additional development regulations such as limitations on height or floor area, or implementations of design guidelines on top of the base zoning. Information regarding the regulations for each overlay can be found on our website, planningforla.org. Other distinct features and overlays that show the complexity of planning and land use in the Southwest Valley include the Van Nuys Airport, River Improvement Overlays, or RIO, hillside areas, very high fire severity zones, and K districts, which are used for equine keeping. Residents and visitors of the Southwest Valley have access to many community facilities and resources. The map shows the various community facilities throughout the 3 plan areas, including schools, civic centers, parks, fire and police stations, and other public facilities like libraries. In addition to the community plans update, the Southwest Valley is experiencing investments in transit, streetscapes, and public open space access from different regional and local agencies, as well as community and neighborhood organizations. Some examples shown on the map include the Sepulveda Transit Corridor Study Area. Metro is making strides to improve travel between the San Fernando Valley, the West Side, and LAX, with a high-capacity public transportation option that will provide more options for traveling in this area. We also have the Metro G-Line Improvements Project. The Metro G-Line Bus Rapid Transit Improvements Project includes proposed improvements such as grade separation on major streets, minor street closures, better signal priority technology, electronic bus connectivity, and 4-quadrant gating system. At the Reseda G-Line station, we have the community initiative Tarzana Crossing that details a vision of a walkable, transit-oriented community reflecting the character and historical value of Tarzana. Tarzana Crossing is on the short list of 12 Los Angeles organizations to receive funding from the Great Streets Challenge, a program of Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti's Great Street Initiative for improving and beautifying Tarzana. Another investment shown is part of the Upper LA River and Tributaries Revitalization Plan. The plan identifies more than 300 proposed opportunities and projects to revitalize the areas throughout numerous neighborhoods throughout LA County. It creates a chance to restore natural habitats and green areas that have been cemented over by recommending multi-benefit projects that improve natural resources and increase the amount of open space for people and wildlife to thrive. The identified areas in the Southwest Valley region are the Canoga Park River Park and the Owens Mouth Healthy River Walk, as well as the Aliso Creek Confluence Park, also known as the Reseda River Loop. If you would like to learn more about the identified projects and opportunities in the city and county of Los Angeles, please visit the Upper LA River and Tributaries Revitalization Plan. In Reseda, we also have the Sherman Way Conceptual Plan. Los Angeles Neighborhood Initiative, also known as LANI, is working in partnership with Los Angeles City Council member Bob Blumenfield to implement the Sherman Way Conceptual Planning Project. The conceptual plan document serves as a guide for the design, development, and construction of physical improvements along Sherman Way. The plan provides a series of improvements, including but not limited to streetscapes, facade design guidelines, and proposed economic development plans. Finally, in Woodland Hills, there's Reimagine Ventura Boulevard. Councilmember Bob Blumenfield initiative seeks to reimagine Ventura Boulevard as a neighborhood-scale main street for Woodland Hills that supports local businesses and creates a better sense of place for nearby residents by providing additional parking, enhanced landscaping, and improvements for those who walk. This program was the result of community organizing and input from the Woodland Hills Warner Center Neighborhood Council and other local community groups. As previously mentioned, more information about all of these projects can be seen on our website, planningforla.org, with descriptions and links available for easy viewing. Now, we will discuss changes to the scope of the Southwest Valley Community Plans Update work program. In December 2020, the Planning Department presented the draft proposed general plan land use map for the Southwest Valley. Since then, the work program has been updated to include several proposed boundary changes to the Southwest Valley Community Plans, and to include the Ventura-Cahuenga Corridor Specific Plan as part of the land use update. In the following slides, we will walk through the proposed changes to the program in more detail. The proposed Southwest Valley General Plan land use can be reviewed in detail in our story map at our website, planningforla.org/SW Valley Plans. Proposed boundary changes are taking place as part of the community plan update. Factors that were considered when looking at the proposed boundary change areas included the presence of a natural or logical physical boundary, such as a freeway or a natural resource, consistency with other city infrastructure plans, such as the Los Angeles World Airports or LAWA owned land, and ensuring a consistent and coherent land use pattern within the community plan. The Reseda West Van Nuys Lake Balboa Community Plan area will expand its boundaries in two locations. First, to the east, in what is currently the Van Nuys North Sherman Oaks Community Plan area, the boundary will extend to Interstate 405. And second, to the north, in what is currently the Northridge and Mission Hills Panorama City North Hills Community Plan areas, the boundaries will extend north to Napa Street between Havenhurst and Gothic Avenue. These changes will bring all land owned by Los Angeles World Airports, such as the Van Nuys Airport, under one community plan, as well as the neighborhoods impacted by the presence of the airport between Valjean Avenue and the 405. The Canoga Park Winnetka Woodland Hills West Hills Community Plan area will expand its boundary to the north in what is currently the Chatsworth Community Plan area. The boundary will extend to the Chatsworth Nature Preserve and Reservoir, a significant natural feature. Additionally, The land use and zoning portion of the Ventura-Cahuenga Boulevard Corridor Specific Plan was previously being updated separately from the overall Southwest Valley Community Plans update, despite running through the Southwest Valley neighborhoods of Woodland Hills, Tarzana, and Encino. However, in August of 2021, in order to help speed up the corridor's post-pandemic recovery, City Planning delegated the rezoning portion of the Ventura-Cahuenga Specific Plan Amendments Work Program to the community plans updates underway in the Southeast and Southwest Valley. This approach will use the city's resources more effectively and support community-by-community zoning that respects each neighborhood's priorities. By focusing the specific plan amendments team efforts on issues of immediate concern to businesses and stakeholders along the corridor, such as streamlining signage clearances, updating project impact assessment fees and allowable expenditures, and modernizing transportation strategies, this change will ensure that businesses get the help they need. Part 3 of this video series will discuss the existing Ventura-Cahuenga Corridor Specific Plan and potential issues and opportunities that may be available along the corridor. We will now discuss past outreach, the plan process timeline, next steps, and ways for you to provide community feedback on the concepts proposed in this video series. Over the last few years, the Southwest Valley Community Plans Update team has held or attended a wide variety of events, including webinars, community workshops, neighborhood council meetings, roundtable discussions, concept workshops, and community events such as festivals and farmers markets. Our goal is to continually provide opportunities to engage with our community stakeholders. We ask for your help in furthering community engagement and sharing the community plans update programs with others in your community. So during the past few years, we had the opportunity to engage with the community in various formats such as community workshops, neighborhood and council meetings, and community events before we shifted to an online format in 2020 due to COVID-19. We are currently in the consulting stage, which includes the release of the draft GPLU map and draft guiding principles for the 3 community plans and the Ventura-Cahuenga Specific Plan area, which are being presented in this 3-part video series. Our next steps include reviewing and refining the proposed land use maps based on community feedback, as well as working on the next stage to present a draft zoning map and draft plan text. We plan to present the draft zone map and draft plan text to the community for feedback. In this 3-part video series, we shared the proposals for the Southwest Valley Community Plans update, and we want your feedback. With this goal in mind, we will have office hours available where interested individuals can set up a time to speak one-on-one virtually with the planning staff of the Southwest Valley Community Plans update. You can sign up for a time slot that works best for you on our website, planningforla.org/SW Valley Plans. Additionally, you may submit any comments, questions, or feedback at any time via email or phone to any of our team members. Finally, we would like to remind you that this was part 1 of a 3-part video series. We encourage you to watch all 3 videos to learn about the proposals for the Southwest Valley Community Plan update. You may also visit our interactive story map where you can view the information provided here, as well as explore our interactive map to see the proposed changes for any parcel or areas within your community plans. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you.